Fantastic. Okay, Emmanuel, welcome. Welcome once again. So I would like to know, where are you guys joining us from? Right? My name is Muide Nadiakoni, and I'm joining from somewhere around the world. I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria. So where are you guys joining us from? Sixth time, and I'm a student already. That's how it works. You shouldn't have joined our section sixth time and don't be a student already. So Kenneth, welcome on board. Thanks for being here. This is more like going to be like a refresher for you. So welcome. Okay. So where are you guys joining us from? Kenneth, where are you joining us from? Emmanuel Zilayet, where are you guys joining us from? Okay, Emmanuel said Lagos. All right. Zilayet said Jukui in Abuja. Tranquility said UK. Okay. Kenneth said UAE. Fantastic. Ugochukwu said UK, fantastic. Good to have each and every one of you here tonight. Tonight is promised to be a very fantastic one. Okay, and what we're looking at to discuss tonight. So tonight we'll be talking about, to be looking at the truth about getting job as a data scientist, looking at the machine learning career path. What are the things you need to know? What are those skills you need to learn about how to be a AI and machine learning engineer? I know you must have been hearing AI this, AI that, Google View 3, Google View 2. What is going on? How can you get into this train? And what are the things you need to get into this train? These are the things you will be discussing tonight in this session. Then also, I'll walk you through the things you need to learn, and also how you be able to, while learning, give you the opportunity to get yourself a job while even learning. You learn all those things in this session tonight. Then for those that will be looking to wait at the very end of the session, you will have a fantastic opportunity to get more information about the discounts that we have to offer. Okay, so looking at the company itself, who exactly or what is Tenalytics? So Tenalytics, we are a leading edtech company, and we've been at this for quite some time now, close to 5 years, 5 years already, right? We'll be five by August. And what do? We are we are specifically specialized in helping people, everyday people, transition into the tech space. That is, when I mean everyday people, I mean people that do not have any sort of technical background, that probably don't have any technical skills. Our specialty is to get these people to, from whatever career path they are in, to transition into the tech space. And when we're looking at the career path they're looking to transition into, we have committed to focusing on the leading tech space. That's the data analyst route, the business analyst, the data engineering, the data science, the financial analyst, the HR analyst, and the project manager also. Then you also have the cybersecurity, and very soon to come, the AI engineering route. Okay. And these programs that you're learning, 100%, they are being taught by world-class professionals that have experience in the top companies around the world. These are the people that will be impacting knowledge onto you in your classes. Okay. So when you are being taught by these professionals, trust me, being taught by a professional is a path for you to becoming a professional yourself. Okay. So these are the things you get to learn. And looking at me myself, or I can see that you can see my name over up above here, but then again, I'll still do a little bit of introduction. My name is Imudin Adiakoni, and I have wealth of experience as a data analyst, as a data scientist, and also as a business intelligence analyst. And I've helped loads of companies, help them streamline their operation processes and align with the goal they're looking to achieve as a company. These I've done for lots of companies. I've have I've helped over 500 people that have zero technical background transition into the tech space and land their first role in the tech space. All right. And I have experience that cut across being a growth lead, growth lead catalyst at Analytics in Canada. Then I've also have experience working with a company in UK. I still do that currently. The name of the company is BBX UK. Then also have helped companies in Nigeria as a data analyst to help them streamline their processes and a lot more. And I have experience that cut across the edtech, the finance, the logistics, FMCG, and the health tech. Okay. Now with me tonight, I'm not just going to be the only one speaking with you tonight. With me tonight, I have my very learned, fantastic colleague. All right, I'll have him to do his introduction, but I call him the emeritus professor because he's really nerded and he's one of these people that will be impacting knowledge into you in tonight's session. All right. His name, I can see he's smiling. He's a fantastic individual. His name is Daniel, but I'll have him to do the introduction. I give him the honors to do the introduction. Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Muindin. Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you. I
welcome.
feel flattered already. Okay, so it's a wonderful thing to be here in our midst tonight, and we are going to be talking about the world of AI. And so before I proceed, I'm just going to introduce myself. So my name is Daniel, and currently I work as a senior data science associate here at Analytics, and I have a lot of experience. First, starting with my background as an engineer, and then I've worked my way into the IT space. All right, and so I have expertise in Python, SQL, Excel, Power BI, and machine learning majorly, which is what I major in right now. And I've been able to work across different industry. I've worked in the educational sector, I've worked in the finance sector, I've worked in the health industry, all of this as a data scientist. I didn't have to take an extra course to be a health personnel, but because of my skill as a data scientist, I'm able to help businesses in that sphere. And this just tells you how much vast these skills are, how well they can be used across different domains. All right. So I'm committed to knowledge sharing, and that's why you see that I am part of Tenalytics and we are training other people to be like us. All right. So that's one of the reasons why I am here at Tenalytics. And I have a continuous drive for learning and innovation. And like I said, my passion for data science and AI and optimizing businesses. So many things can actually be applied in optimizing business, but for me, I like to come from adding solutions that are data related. So that's it about myself. So let's
Thank you.
get
Thank you.
into
So thank you. But
tonight.
before you
All
get
right,
into it,
thank
I
you.
know you want to really start because you said in you're like you like impacting knowledge. So this is what you're going to do tonight. But before we get into it, I see that we have some new people joining the session for the very first time. So you will see in the chat box, my colleagues, they'll be sharing a link. That link is a registration link. So you want to click on that link, complete the form of attendance. And the purpose of doing this is because this particular session is recorded. Okay. So for you to, at the end of the session, for you to come back, for you to be able to get the video, this particular session is recorded to send to your email and also to get a slide that my colleague will be using tonight. You want to make sure you complete the form so that they'll be able to send everything, the recorded video and the slide, they have it sent to your email. Okay. So for those that joining us for the very first time, welcome once again, but make sure you complete the form. Okay. Now, my prof, you can go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Prince. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and then let's dive without so much talking. Let's look at what we I have in store for you tonight. Okay, so enough has been said about myself. So let's talk about AI right now and how it affects you. So the truth about getting an AI machine learning job, the skills and the salaries. So I believe one of the main reasons or one of the main attraction in changing jobs has to do with money. In as much as we have the drive to want to solve problems. Many times, problem solving too, as they are solving problems, you need money to survive. And everybody wants a better life for themselves, right? So we are all looking for better opportunities. There are many things you could have done that can solve problems, but then you want to solve bigger problems that will give you higher pay and live a better life or the life of your dream. So, but about AI, so many things have been said. We've heard several things many times we are looking at, okay, the entry barrier is very high. How do I get in? So when I get in, what am I expected to get? All right. So what is it in AI? What's in AI that everybody's talking about? AI career this, AI that, and all of that. So let's look at something. We've had the hype about AI is the future. So we know that everybody here knows that everybody's talking about AI, 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 AI. But then what does it really take to break in? What do I need? How many degrees do I need to acquire? what are the level of thinking? Do I need to be thinking up there? Is it just about having a PhD? Do I need to have a master's? Do I need to have this certification or that certification? Do I need to build the next big thing? Do I need to build something that is better than DeepSeek and better than ChatGPT? Well, let's look at it. Let's look at what we'll find in our answer. First, before I talk about building things that are bigger than ChatGPT, let's even look at AI. Let's break it down. What is AI? Now, AI, first, we have three broad categories of AI. We have the narrow AI, we have the general AI, and then we have the generative AI. All right, so I'll start with the narrow AI and the generative AI before I go to the general AI. Now, talking about narrow AI, or what we call a weak AI. Now, narrow AI are AI that actually perform specific tasks. For example, everybody on this call, you probably have a Face ID on your phone, right? You have a Face ID on your phone. And that Face ID, when you look at it, it's able to recognize your face. Now, if you look at your camera app just face your camera app to yourself, and then it recognizes your face. There are some camera features that once you smile, it takes your picture. If you use social media a lot, you see filters and all of those things. These are all AI in a particular form. So you can see that those AI have their own use in the creative industry. So I can actually build something called a face recognition. So face recognition is not just limited to your phone. You understand? You can also build a face recognition system as for a security system. Maybe you are in your organization, you are mindful about the kind of people that come in, and then you have your staff. You want to make sure that only your staff get access into the room. So fingerprints, maybe there is a flaw in fingerprint, and then you want to build something for the organization, and then you come up with a proposition and all of these things. I'm just trying to show you how AI can be used to solve problems, which I'm still going to talk into. So now all of these particular features are AI. They are AI features that solves problems. So the fact that they are weak AI does not mean they are not problem solved. In fact, many applications use weak AI. We have things like Google Lens. How many of you have used Google Lens? Have you seen how Google Lens work? It takes a text and then extracts the text from it. Takes a picture, extracts the text from it. You can even use a picture to search the internet. Those are weak AI. Those are things that they have a particular application. Now, this is a type of AI. Now, another type of AI, which is a generative AI, which many of us know, we have ChatGPT for creating text. We have for creating images, and it can even code for you. Now, all of these are generative AI. Now, this generative AI is like a special type of AI that generates text. Unlike weak AI perform particular tasks. So if I have a weak AI in an maybe recognition system, it only does recognition. Now, for generative AI, they generate text. For example, now, if I want to, I built a customer service app recently that answers frequently asked questions. All I just needed to do was collect data set from the organization, and then I decided to train an LLM for them. And on training the LLM for them, all you just needed to do is to ask it questions. Now, this was like a personalized AI model. Now, it is not ChatGPT. This one is particularly for the organization. So it answers questions, generates text to them. So when people come, instead of looking for who to ask questions, just go to the app, type your text in, and then it gives you answer. This is what a generative AI looks like. Then when we now talk about general AI or strong AI. Now, strong AI has to do with AIs that are capable of reasoning like humans. Now, a very popular example when we talk about humanoids, when we talk about humanoids, they look like human, they are built like human, they try to mimic human in reasoning, in learning, and in doing things. But in what we have currently, most of what we have right now, most of the technological breakthrough are generally narrow AI and generative AI. Although the scope of narrow AI has been broadened so that we can have a narrow AI that performs several tasks, but still it is limited. For example, if you go to the automobile industry, I'm a mechanical engineer by training. All right. So I did some research in the automobile industry. We have robots that have been developed to assemble cars. So there's a limited number of hands that are actually assembling cars, right? So now those robots, like they are also artificial intelligence, but they will definitely fall under narrow AI because they perform particular tasks. Now imagine you're working in an automobile industry and then they bring in a robot that is going to replace you. You are going to feel sad, right? Because there's a machine that can do what you are doing and then it can do it faster. But then there's something that the machine, in as much as we have technological advancement at the moment, there's something that machines cannot replace. In fact, because we have more machines, there are new jobs that are springing up. All right. So I'm going to introduce you to those new jobs. Now we've talked about AI and all of those things. So if you are going to break into this kind of AI, what are the skills you need to get? What are the things you need to know? So I already talked about narrow AI, building something in particular. And trust me, this narrow AI, a lot of industries need it. A lot of organizations, they are looking for it. They are looking for people to build models. They are looking for, I've helped students prepare for interviews, a whole lot of interviews. And during those interviews, we see the job descriptions, and people need, organizations need hands that will help them to build models. So, in the rave of all of this, we want to take advantage of these opportunities and find yourself solving problems. AI has come to stay. We are not going to fight that, but then you can leverage on AI. If you can build a problem, you'll see somebody that will take you in. So what are the skills you need to break in, even at any of this level? So I've showed you that there are different complexities. You don't have to, that means you don't have to learn rocket science. You don't have to learn rocket science before you are able to break into the world of AI. So something very simple can get you started in AI. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you are still following, and you can drop in the chat. You can tell me you are following. Let me know how many of you are following me on the chat. I need the thumbs up. I need the thumbs up. I need the chat so I'll know that yes, I'm not talking to myself. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So now let's go. Now, what are the tools? What are the skills we need? Now, in all of these three that I've mentioned, something is common to them. Some skills are common to all these three. Now, let's look at it. The most in-demand skills for you to break into AI, there is Python, there is SQL, there is machine learning, and then there is data engineering. Now, what is Python? I know many of you would have heard of Python, and even if you've not heard of Python, if you look at my introduction, you see me writing Python there and all of that. Now, Python is a programming language at the heart of artificial intelligence. Many of the systems being built today, many of the models being built today are all built with Python, many of them. There are several platforms that allows you to use Python, but most of them under the hood, they are using Python. So that means by the time you learn Python, you are one step in into your learning process, into breaking into the industry. So you know Python, you are one leg in. Python is very versatile. It works with there is almost an integration for Python anywhere. You can use Python to do web development. You can use Python for data science. You can use Python for scripting. You can use Python for networking. You can use Python for a whole lot of things. So that means an aspiring AI engineer would learn Python, and that gives you leverage. Before you start doing other complex stuff with Python, you can do so much. All right, you can do so much with Python. For example, when we build models, we upload our models, we build models, and we deploy those models in on the web. Trust me, we are not using HTML and CSS. The deployment for Python model can be written in Python. So that means I can create a model and then I'll push it out there using Python, and I don't need to learn HTML, CSS. All right. So that's one advantage of Python. It gives you all around integration access. And this is part of what we teach our data scientists in Analytics. We teach them Python, we teach them how to integrate their models in Python and develop them. Now, another skill that you need to learn for this, another skill that you need to learn is SQL or SQL, depending on the site. Now, what matters is the knowledge and not the pronunciation. So you can hear SQL, you can hear SQL, but whichever one you are acquainted with. SQL, very interesting programming language. Now, in SQL, we use it to pull data. For example, if I want to know how many people joined this call, that's a question, right? Every business wants to know their numbers. Every business wants to have information about their customer, their services. How am I running? How am I doing this? How am I doing that? Every single business everywhere. And so SQL is like a well that keeps our data together. And so by making use of SQL, SQL can help us to retrieve data from different sources. Now, when we talk about AI, one of the driving force for AI is data. I need to add that data is the driving force for AI. So that means companies that are going to build AI models are going to rely so much on data. So if they are going to rely so much on data, that means any field that has to do with data is relevant. Now, what fields have to do with data? We have data science, because the data scientist is the one that will develop the model. We have a data analyst. Our data analyst is also going to help us to look at the data and tell us information about the data, whether we are building models or not. Then we have the data engineer. Now, what does the data engineer do? The data engineer is the one that is in charge of building a pipeline, is the one that helps them to design the whole system that they use to collect the data. So that means the data that the data scientists will use, the data engineer is the one that will design the process for it. The data that the data analyst will use, the data engineer is the one that will design the process for it. Now, when we now talk of machine learning now flows from the data scientist. So the data scientist will not just stop at where the data analyst stop. The data scientist is going to go further and then take the data and make something out of it. Something like what? It's going to make like a prediction model. They are going to make different kinds of model out of it. Now, we have different kinds of model. We have model that does prediction. We have model that does segmentation. We have model that does identification. We have different kinds of model. And so a data scientist with the skill of machine learning is able to take a data and then build something with it. So we can see how all of these skills are intertwined. And the interesting thing is this, with the knowledge of Python and SQL, you can actually integrate either as a data engineer or as a data scientist, even as a data analyst. So all of these tools put together helps you to position yourself. So as data is coming out, everybody is churning out data. If you look at your organization, there are data being churned out every day. Most of you use Excel in your work, right? So all those Excel data, somebody is in charge of managing it. You can just open your paper one day and then you read, you see 30% of XYZ is doing this. In the next 30 days, we're expecting so and so event to happen. Now, all of those things are not magic at all. They are not magic. It's just an application of data analysis, data engineering, data science skills that helps us to look into the data and make projection. Now, all of this put together is what we now use to form the AI tool. So that means if I'm going to break in into the AI space, I need to acquire skills. It's not just about degrees. Yeah, there are places that value degree. For example, the US, they value degree, they value certificates. But in the UK, they value skills more than degree. All right. So now you have to know the dynamics of where you are. But whether you have a degree or you have the skill, you need the skill. Even in a place where degree is needed, you need the skill. So that means you need to acquire all these skills to break into AI. So I don't need a master's degree to become an AI engineer. Now, will master's degree help us? Well, it will, but these are the skills you need. Data science is not rocket science. AI is not rocket science. Even though by the time you put all of those things together, you can build a rocket out of it. But trust me, it's way simpler than rocket science. So you don't need too many complex things. Just acquire these skills and then you are good to go in your journey. And between you can switch between roles as long as it has to do with data. All right. So now let's now look at how to get your portfolio ready. Remember, I said getting your skills, getting skills. Now, if I get skills, what is my proof of my skills? Now, the proof of your skills is actually in the project you have carried out. And this is what brings us to this point called portfolio. Now, in this case of portfolio, I'm going to share with you my GitHub page. I'm going to show you what my GitHub page looks like. Yours can be better. For somebody who is transitioning into tech, you need something to show that really I have done this. For example, I opened my GitHub in 2020. That makes it 5 years, right? By now, this year, it's going to be 5 years since I opened my GitHub. It's easy for me to tell anybody that I'm 5 years into tech because I already have. So if you ask me how long have I been in if you ask me how long have I been in the tech industry with evidence, now my GitHub serves as my evidence because it's 5 years old, even though I started way before my GitHub. All right. So let me quickly show you what the GitHub is. Now I'm going to show you the basic aspects. Now the advanced one using HTML and CSS and then portfolio builder. Now the whole essence of portfolio is that a place where people can see the projects that you have worked on. This is what is going to serve as a proof to others that truly you're actually working on a project. You actually have experience. You can collaborate. So I'm going to share my screen now. Let's see what my GitHub looks like. All right. So I have my GitHub right here, opened right here. And then you can see when you open my GitHub, a lot of things are here. Maybe this is your first time of looking at it, but of getting to see what GitHub looks like. All right. So for me now, if you look at my GitHub page, you see that there are some things called repository. Now, all these repository are actually telling you what things I've worked on. You can see several projects that I've worked on. All right. So this is what my repository looks like. Now, there are so many other things that I've done that even though you access my repository, you might not be able to see them because some of those things are actually private. And then there are some things on that are not particularly on my repository because I have a non-disclosure agreement to show them. So those parts cannot be seen. All right, so now looking at this, by looking at just this my repository, you are convinced that yes, this guy has been able to work on many projects. Now let's look at the timeline. Look at this particular project. Look at this particular project, which is a plant classifier. You can see that this particular plant classifier model, I want to show you something about the timeline. So it's still loading. Okay, so if you look at my data now, can you see? Now, from here, you can see that, okay, oh, this person has actually worked on on this particular project. You can see even the code files that I've worked on, they are all here. So it can help you to explore. So if you ask me, for example, can you write machine learning? Can you build a machine learning model? This alone already tells you that yes, I can build a machine learning model and I have built a machine learning model already. So when people come to your GitHub page, your GitHub, it's like a free it's like a free website that you can use to showcase your work. So you can look at my repository now, look at my files. Anybody that comes to my page can actually see all of this, and then they can see how long you can see that this project now is like 3 years long. Some of the things here are 3 years long. I've been making updates. I've made several updates over time. I've made several other updates over time. So at least now, looking at my GitHub repository, if you look at this, you cannot argue with me that I have at least 3 years experience. This is just for this particular project. I have other projects also, but for this project now, it shows anybody that cares to know that I've been working on GitHub for more than 3 years right now. So this is like a free way to show your project. Now, another thing I want to show my profile. I want to show my profile, which I can use in case you don't have a website yet. You can actually use this to display your profile to others. So mine is loading now, and then I can just share this page. If I share this link to anybody, anyone who's coming to my website, who's coming to my GitHub, is going to see this, and then they are going to know, okay, what are the things that this person has been working on? What does this? So this just simply tells everybody that, oh, this guy, this is what he is. So this is like an introduction for me. So I'm a senior data science associate. So anybody who comes across this can tell what I do. So data science, machine learning, web development, and all of that, core technologies, these are the things I work with. These are some of the projects I've already been able to develop over time and so many other things like that. So you can see that I have a free way. Looking at my GitHub page alone will tell people that, okay, this person really has some kind of experience. So this is basic how we can build our portfolio, because your portfolio tells people what you've done. All right. If you look at some analytics, which I don't think I'll be able to show right now, it will tell you how many people have looked at your projects, the projects you've done, how many people have done all some of those things. And sincerely, in some job application, over my experience, some will require that you put your code on your GitHub. They want to see how you use GitHub. It's part of what they want to test for. So all of those things are all encompassing, and there are things that you want to give yourself to, and so that you will not miss any opportunity. All right. So this is like a typical portfolio. This is just a very simple one, and we can actually build more advanced portfolio. GitHub gives us the leverage to build portfolios using HTML and CSS. All right. So, but in 10 Analytics, we cover all of these methods of building portfolios, especially the advanced one, whereby you can have your portfolio and then just it looks like a website. It doesn't look like what I just showed you. That's why I called it basic. Then there's an advanced using GitHub pages. Part of the things we show you how to do so that you can present yourself better. Because for you to break through in this tech world, your presentation matters. Then there are other tools called portfolio builders. Those portfolio builders can actually help you to build a portfolio. Just follow instruction. It's like what you see is what you get. So they'll tell you what to type. When you type those things, they'll prompt after the promptings and citing, they'll just build a website for you that has your portfolio in there. So you can explore any of these options. The whole idea is that you want to have proof that you have done something. Many times when you are bidding for a job or something, they'll say, let me see your portfolio. That means let me see what you have done. Let me know whether you are capable. And so when you are building a portfolio, make sure that your projects are top notch. Don't just build anything, build something top notch, build something that people can go back and look at and say, wow, even you yourself, when you go back and look at your work, you are proud of what you have done. All right. So after acquiring your skills, get your portfolio, and then what next? What then are employers? What are they after? Now, your employers are after one, problem solving. Everybody wants someone who can solve their problem. So I'll give an example with a mechanic. Sorry, I'm a mechanical engineer by training. All right. So now, if you have a car and you've had a course to visit a mechanic, and you have to always keep visiting the mechanic, you are not going to be very satisfied, right? Everybody wants to take their car to the mechanic, and then the mechanic will solve the problem once and for all. They don't want to keep coming back. So now, if you have a mechanic that you always have to keep coming back, then one day you now find somebody that looks at your vehicle and tells you the problem and solves it once and for all. I'm sure nobody here will want to go back to that mechanic who they perceive is always just swindling them, fix this today, fix that tomorrow. Not that the mechanic is not good, but they probably don't know how to find the problem and fix it permanently. And so this is going to be a large problem for you. You don't want that scenario, right? So everybody wants someone that can solve their problem. And so that's why as you are picking up the skills, one skill I always advise people to pick up is problem solving. Learn to solve problems. Now, another thing is proficiency with the tools. So there are different tools that you are learning. Like I told you earlier, we talked about Python, we talk about SQL, we talk about machine learning. The tools you are using for those things, you have to know how to use them well. You have to know how to use them well. For example, now imagine walking into an interview. You are asked, you said you are a Python programmer, you're a data scientist, and you use Python for your data science program. And then they ask you, what is scikit-learn? What is SciPy? What does SciPy do? Or they ask you, what can I use pandas for? And then you are blank. You can't say, you can't do anything. Or in a technical test, you are giving a test and then it's a live test where you are being recorded, you are being watched on how you are using the tools. And then you are asked to load a data set and you can't even load a data set. Now, no matter how much projects you've done previously, it will tell them that this guy does not know how to, maybe this guy just inflated their knowledge. Maybe they just inflated their CV or something like that. They don't seem to know how to use these tools. So they want people that know how to use the tools. So when you've gotten the skills, learn to use the tool properly. Now, understanding of business problem. Now, if I can now, this goes with problem solving. If I know how to use a tool, for example, I can know how to use a tool, but I may not be able to know how to use the tool to solve a problem. Let's say in a painting job now, I want to paint, I know how to use a brush, but I don't know how to paint a house. The fact that I know how to use a brush, I know that, okay, you need to stroke it gently, all of those things. And but then when you are now giving a house to paint, but you don't know how to where to start, where to how to move the brush, where to move the brush to, and make everything align, it's going to be a problem. So that means everybody wants someone that when they come into their organization, they can solve their business problem. I'll give an example of a particular business I problem I solved with a company, and it's a finance company actually collecting records. And when I was brought on board, they just wanted something that will help them keep track of their members and then keep track of their finances. And when I asked several questions, I asked for this data, I asked for that data, I asked for all of the data. And then it just dawned on them that, wait, they've been operating for more than 10 years and they can't answer all of the questions I'm asking them. And so it made them go back to their drawing board and then they started looking at how they can bring it together. And by the time we're done with the project, when they saw the outputs of what I gave them, the tools I developed for them, they were wow that, oh, so these are questions they could just answer at a glance. So they want somebody, if I could not understand their problem, there's no way I can solve problems. So these are skills that you need to also carry along as you're acquiring your acquiring your skills, your proficiency, carry out all of these things. So now, what can you do to stand out even without a tech background? Like I said earlier, I'm a mechanical engineer by training. when I had my undergraduate, I had it as a mechanical engineer. But over time, I've moved from mechanical engineering into data science. And how did I do that? All of the steps I gave you was what I followed, acquired my skills and all of that. But over time, how did I now get to eventually find a space in the data science world? How did I get a space here? Now, I got a space because first thing I did, I told people about what I do. That's the first thing. And tell your transition story. Let people know that you are making transition. Now, when you tell your transition story, we now have different we now have different platforms where you can actually tell your story and get people to listen to you. So, and these platforms, this brings us to the next point, which is optimize your presence online. So, optimizing your presence online, you can have LinkedIn, you have GitHub, you have Medium. These places allows you to share your story. So, as you are growing, as you are building this project, I learned this today. I learned that tomorrow. I did this. It shares so when people come back to your profile, they are seeing a story, they are seeing a growth. Everybody knows that this person is actually doing this and is doing that. If imagine you come to my profile now, imagine you come to my profile and you don't see anything that has to do with data science on my profile. That will tell you that I'm probably not doing anything in that line. Or you go to my GitHub account and then you don't see any data science or artificial intelligence. It tells them that, look, this guy is not doing anything serious at all. So all of these things you want to do. And in analytics, one of the things we do for our students is what we call the 90 days challenge. So this 90 days challenge is a way to help people to tell their stories. And then we have different sessions. We have LinkedIn optimization session where people are actually taught how to optimize their LinkedIn. We have sessions where people are actually taught how to build a standard GitHub repository, how to put their things up there, their project, and even build a portfolio out of this. Then we can also make use of Medium. Medium is a place for writing. For myself now, I think I've published like 2 or 3 articles on Medium just as a way to test the waters and see how I can my share my things. Like currently now, I'm working on publishing a paper, a research paper. These are part of the things that we do to make us stand out. And then there are other things we can do, network and join communities. Now, in communities, you can meet other people. I must tell you that not every job is going to be explicitly put out there. Not every job is going to be put out there explicitly. Some, you only get to know them by your association. If you are not in certain communities, you are not going to get to know about some jobs. And that's why one of the things we do in Analytics is that we create a community where people can join. And then at the same time, in that community, we also make sure that we give them the things they do. Like part of what we do for our students is that we provide job offers to them. We provide job offers. So people can, as they are learning, they can actually start applying for job even while still learning. So join communities. In those communities, you will see opportunities, you will hear about events, try to go out for those events, and who knows, you might just land your next tech job. Now, the first job is usually the hardest, but trust me, once you get the first one, you can always get others. And that's why you have to do all it takes to get the first job. I remember when my first job internationally, I live in Nigeria full time and I've worked for companies abroad. But some of the jobs I've gotten was by recommendation. I worked for A and A recommended me to B and then just like that, just like that, just like that. And I keep getting jobs even without applying to those jobs. So your network will help you to work. All right. Your network will help you to land your first big break. People have to hear about you. You, if nobody knows you, you are not, nobody can actually put something in your hand. So you have to shout it at the top of the roof that I am into tech. All right. So when you shout it, scream it, let draw the attention to yourself, and then people are going to take you serious. All right. So now that being said, let's look at one final thing, which is the salary expectation. So everybody is wondering, okay, so if you now say I should migrate, now what should I be expecting as salary? Now, this is not absolute. It varies, but this is just gives you a range of what to expect while working in each of these roles. So you see what a data analyst and you see what a generative AI analyst specialist and you see what data scientists earn on the average. But the key idea here basically is that if you are going to significantly boost your earning, regardless of your career, in your career rather, then you have to take certain skills serious. An average earner in the UK probably earns 24 to 30,000 pounds annually. So imagine switching to a data analyst or switching to a data scientist, and then you have an opportunity to double or even triple your earning. These are endless opportunities that you can actually take in. Now, some for beginners might not be this high, but trust me, as you climb the cadre, you can see the prospects. And one more thing, these kind of jobs allow for remote working. So not everybody will require you to be on site. You have opportunity to work remotely. Like myself now, I'm here talking to you from the comfort of my home and not in an office because I work remotely. So those are part of the flexibilities that you get to learn. So that is it about AI expectations and how to get into it. I don't know if anybody has any question to ask before I hand over to Prince.
Okay, thank you so much, my professor. So I don't know if they have any question, but what we can do is, so if you have any question, you can always take notes. By the time I'm done with explaining to you how you can actually get yourself skilled and transition and get yourself a job, by the time I'm done with this, if you have questions, we can that time ask you to unmute your mic and you get to speak. Okay. So this is something that you can easily do. Just take notes of everything being said. Probably maybe things that my colleague said that you don't really have to understanding about. You want to take note, or probably something you've been hearing that is of concern to you about you transitioning. You have those questions, just note them down. And what I would do is, by the time we are done, myself or my colleague be able to answer your questions 100%. Okay. So um, while we do that, so you've heard everything that my colleague has to say. They are very impactful. Like they are very fantastic. Now you might be probably wondering now, how do I, me that don't have any career path, how do I even transition into this path? And most importantly, how do I even learn or even get a job? Or what is that assurance that after I've gone through this, I will actually be able to get a job? What is that guarantee of you learning and being able to get yourself your feet into the door? And what we did in this regard is we went ahead to look at all the major job boards. So when I'm talking about the job boards, I'm talking about places where organizations they post all the jobs, all the roles available within the organization. They post it on this job board. I'm talking about Google Jobs, CV Library, Indeed, LinkedIn that we already know, Monster Jobs, Built-in, so many more. So what we did was we went to these job boards to scrape all the informations of these jobs, all the details of the jobs, scrape them, then we analyze. And the reason why we are trying to analyze is we want to understand the roles that company are really looking to hire for. That is what we are looking to achieve. Now, when we analyze everything, we analyze based on three major criteria. And the first criteria is the ease of learning, meaning how easy is it for somebody that have been away from a classroom kind of setup? How easy is it going to be for such person to be able to learn and actually understand what they've been taught? That's the first criteria. And the number two is the ease of transitioning. All right. You can hear my learned professor said is he has no experience at all before transitioning into being a data scientist. So what about people that probably did linguistics or did um, economics or studied languages? Are they able to still transition into tech? And are they able to get a job? And the answer to that is yes. And the last one definitely is the high rewarding salary, which is definitely, I don't know about you, but I know for me personally, that was one of the reasons I said, no, this tech, we are getting there because of the salary. Okay. So definitely a job that is going to give you a high rewarding salary. And the answer to that also is yes. So when we are done analyzing thousands of jobs, being able to arrive at 8 different programs. And with these 8 different programs, we have that guarantee that you are able to easily learn it, you are able to easily transition, and you are able to get a high rewarding salary. Today, we have all of them, the business analyst, the data analyst, and so many more. But today, we're talking about the data scientist. Okay. But before we just move ahead, we are still talking about the data scientist. I'm just, for the sake of people that have been on this call, so I'm going to give you a little bit of satisfaction. So we're talking about data science, you'll be any AI machine learning and etc. etc. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you us the opportunity to actually take a quiz. Now the quiz, the purpose of this quiz is going to open up. So we've been talking about data science, statistics, Python programming. You have to learn how to do Python. And this is something that is similar like, can I even do this? Am I sure I have the capacity to even learn this? Don't worry. So looking at the quiz, my colleague will be sharing link to this particular quiz in the chat box. And remember, make sure you complete the form because this particular access over here, you'll be able to come back and take this quiz over again. So even after the session, you'll be getting the slide. You can easily come to this side, to this particular page, and click on this page to be able to get access to this quiz. So if you go ahead to click and take the quiz, it is going to give you an insight to what exactly you might be doing. Are you able to, with your personal traits, because even though you don't need any work experience, you don't need to have had worked in the IT before, but there are some personal traits that you need to be able to transition. For example, communicating with people. For example, good with numbers. For example, not good with numbers, but you love being in meetings. You love being in the center of attraction where people get to talk and talking to people. These are some of very fantastic skills or traits that you need to excel in the tech space. So I want you to click on the link being shared in the chat box by my colleague, take the quiz, and I want to, before we move ahead, I want to see results of what people are saying that they have opportunity to take in the chat box. Okay. So I want you to, I'll be looking at the chat box and I want you to see result of what program, considering your personal traits, what program really is the perfect fit for you, even though today we are talking about data science. Okay, no distraction. We're talking about data science, but I want you to take the quiz and give me the result that you have. Is a 1 minute, 2 minute quiz. It doesn't take time. So just click on personal trait, things you like, and let me see the results. Okay, are we taking the quiz? Are we taking the quiz? Just click on the link, so I'll be able to you'll be able to take the quiz and I want to see the results in the chat box. Okay. So I want to see what we have. So we see if we have more data scientists that we imagine in the chat box, or we have much more of another career path. So click on that link. It's about 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and you're done. Okay. So I want to see the results. Let me see if I'll be able to do the same thing. Let's see what we have. So let me stop sharing and share my entire screen so you can also see me take this quiz. Okay, so I need you to take the quiz. Okay. Okay. I believe you can. So this is me taking the quiz also. Let's see what I have the capacity to take. So I click on ready and now let's go. Let's go. My name is Muiden. My last name is Adiakoni. Mobile. Let's put it at email is Prince Adiakoni. I agree. So next. How do you feel in a group settings of team and discussions? So when you have a group of people, what do you feel like? Let me say I'm selective. I like people, but I need a balance. Do I like people? Well, I think I love people. I love engaging with people. Definitely. What best describe your current and most recent job? My recent job is going to be, let me see, IT. Yes. So this sounds like you solving problems. I love working with data. Definitely. Ah, there's one that said he loves the ones that pays very well. I hope other people selected that. So I'm doing this so that I'll be able to be take part of the fun that you guys are having. Are you comfortable with the tools like Excel, Google Sheet? Definitely. Very comfortable. Okay. What's your take on coding? So this is the question that the data science is going to, for people that have been in this session, are you comfortable with coding or are you not? Uh, Let me say I love coding. I should have said I don't like coding, but let me say we love coding. Strategic and decision making roles, security conscious mission, helping others involved. Okay, I love being independent, technical, and data focused roles. Yes. Which is the most important to you right now? Is there a place where they say salary, where they have big salary? Landing a high, yes, definitely high tech paying role, work remotely. Yes. Although job security in the long run, yes, definitely. Okay. So impacts, leading organization, training and family business, driving data insight, building scalable system, protecting information, enhancing employability, optimizing financial. So let me say scalability of business. Which courses more is appealing to you? I don't know. I'm confused. So let's see what my answer is. Ah, ha. The builder said I'm a data scientist. I don't know about you. What are you? What is the result for you? Do we have the results? Do we have the results? Do you have any other career path? Do you have the results in the chat box? So if you have your result, I want to see the result. Type it in the chat box. I'm checking the chat box right now. So if they have the result, type in the chat box. Let's see. All right. I have Emmanuel, Foster, Frederick. I have a lot of iPhones. iPhone 1, iPhone 45. All right. I have Karim Ganiat. I have JS, only Laura, Mary Han. Mary Han, you're joining for the first time. Yeah. Morayo, Nigeria Molu Kemi Awo. That's a fantastic name. Ludiro Mutrayo, Sekinat Samuel, Samura. I have Titi Layo. I also have Ugochukwu and Uzoma. So I want to see what. Oh, fantastic. Sekina said business analysis. That's awesome. That's fantastic. So that's the purpose of this iPhone 45 said data scientist. Amazing. Amazing. Do I have more results? Do I have more people take the quiz? What are the results? Okay, amazing, amazing, amazing. What are the results saying? Strategic business analyst, cybersecurity, amazing, amazing. So this is what it's all about. Exactly the point. This is the reason why the quiz at Karim Gania said data scientist, fantastic. So the purpose of this is actually to make you understand that this career path, they don't really need you to have experience in this. You have years of experience in customer support. You work in IT. You must have had experience working with data or using Python. No, It needs personal traits. And these personal traits, they are what will actually get you the job. Okay? These are the things that will actually get you the job. And when we are looking at the jobs that we've analyzed and we're able to arrive at these programs are programs that Conley said data, the business analyst, fantastic. I could see that. So you see these jobs, I got Scrum. Daniel said, I got Scrum, but I'm not a fan. Okay, fantastic. Don't worry. Okay, so you see these jobs that we are talking about, according to the World Economic Forum, looking at the future of job reports. What you are seeing on my screen personally is telling you that in the next 5 years, between 2025 to 2030, 170 million jobs will be created. And at the same time, we'll be losing out or we will be facing out 92 million jobs. Meaning, by the time 170 million jobs are being created, 92 million will also be disappearing. How can you be in the path where your job or your career path will not disappear? How can you do that? How do you take advantage of that? I have a lot of data scientists in the house. Fantastic. It's awesome that you're actually a data scientist. The quiz said data scientist, and you're in a session on how to actually become a data scientist. Okay, that's very fantastic. Now, back to the future of job reports. And when you're looking at the career path that is going to phase out, right? Now, according to the World Economic Forum, when we did the analysis when we got the analysis from them, they were able to highlight the fastest growing jobs. And if you look at the chart, according to the World Economic Forum, the number one and the number three on the fastest growing jobs, career paths that are really high growing in demand, between 2025 and 2030, the number one on the list is big data specialists. I'm sure there was a time that if you go on YouTube, there's a particular jingle, one Harvard that the first thing you heard, big data, big data. What is big data? This is a role that a data scientist gets a fill in, right? So the program is going to, everything that Daniel, my colleague, has been able to walk you through, a path that will lead you to getting a job as one of the highest, fastest growing career path in the world right now, and that is data scientist. Then you also have AI and machine learning specialist, which is our topic for today. Now you must be hearing AI this, AI that, AI is taking over your job, AI is doing this, AI is doing that. And the answer to that is, who exactly created all this? And that is still a data scientist. AI is a model that you feed information, you load information to, and it will give you results. Who loads information into it? So it's not your end user one that you have the ChatGPT that everybody gets to use. Before ChatGPT could actually learn, there was a learning phase with information, and all these things were done by the data scientists, right? When you learn how to train your machine model to be able to give a result and answer to whatever you're looking at. So going through the career path, you know exactly that the career path you are transitioning to, aside from the fact that you're able to learn, transition, and get a high rewarding job, it is also the part of the fastest growing jobs according to the World Economic Forum. Okay. And the other slide also, this particular, so if you see the career path on the right side of my screen, these are career paths that are gradually going to fade off. You have compliance officer, you have relationship managers, you have construction and laborers, you have sales reps and wholesale representatives, you have vocational teachers. These are career, you even have chemical processing plants operators. These are career paths that are gradually dying out. Okay. So you want to make sure that if by any chance your career path is on this right side of the screen, you want to find a way to switch and jump to the left side of the screen, because this career path on the left, this is the career path that you have the guarantee of that job security according to the World Economic Forum. Okay. And so remember, if you cannot read all these things now, make sure you complete the form that my colleagues are showing in the chat box, and you'll be able to get access to the slide. Now, when you're looking to switch to the left side of the screen, you now want to become a data scientist or you want to transition. How exactly do you go about it to get yourself a job? And doing this is you learn how to be a data scientist, meaning you will learn exactly what it takes to execute your role as a data scientist when you get a job. You learn that. Then some of the things my colleague also said, which is you position yourself. Those GitHub that is showing you is portfolio whereby recruiters can see and see things is capable of. This is positioning. So you've been able to learn. You've been able to learn how to write your Python codes to create a solution with your skill as a data scientist. Now you take this thing that you have, the solution that you've been able to provide, you take it and you position yourself strategically. After positioning yourself, you now go ahead to apply. You apply like a robot so that every opportunity that is out there, when it's come looking, the first thing they're going to see is the thing you've positioned, strategically positioned, like, take, this is me. Don't see any other thing, ignore every other thing. This is what I have to offer you. And this is all good and all good news. And when they see this, when anybody looking to employ you, when they see this, they want to say, okay, so let's have an interview. Let's see what you actually have to offer. At that time, you know you're already knocking on the job, on the door. And by the time you're done with the interview, definitely, if you join the session before this, if you want to join this session before we started speaking, you will see tons and tons of people that have been able to get a job before they're even done with the program, and even those that are after the training that is still able to get a job. And we have tons of stories, tons of people that have been able to go through the program and get a job. Abdul Rashid, he currently resides in Nigeria, is in Abuja. I think somebody said they're in Jikoi in Abuja. Abdul Rashid is also in Abuja. I think he's in Wuse. Oh, he's in Wuse. I'm not the one that say exposes location. So he's in Wuse. He got a job as a full stack data scientist with our 420, a company 100% based in US. He currently works in this company and has been on this role for a very long time. He got a job in Nigeria. He resides in Nigeria and he got paid monthly in US dollars as a data scientist, right? We also have Bukola. Bukola took the program. Bukola actually, she is in Poland. Our boyfriend also is in Poland. Our boyfriend actually took the program initially. And when the boyfriend saw, oh, this is fantastic. This is an opportunity that only me cannot even take home, brought home the girlfriend. The girlfriend also took the data science program, and both of them they got a job in Poland as a data scientist. We have tons of people that have been able to go through the program and get a job. Now, what you might be looking at is what are the skills, what are the things that you really need to learn. So I know some people took one the business analysis career path, some to somebody said they are looking at the Scrum, but they are not the fan. They now have a lot of data scientists in their house. Now you might be looking, what exactly are the skills? What are the things you need to learn step by step to get you into getting a job in 2025? And the first thing you need to learn is statistics. So this is something that most of us have been we're all used to back in days in the university days, even in secondary school, statistics. Now you learn how exactly it applies to everything you do as a data scientist, right? The application. Then you also learn forecasting and predictive analysis using Microsoft Excel because as a data scientist, when you analyze data, your main goal, your main reason, your main purpose of this analysis is to be able to predict the future. Have you ever guessed how when we go into a particular supermarket, they have a price of all their products. Then probably a month later, we go back there, there's a little bit of price increment or price reduction. They just look like, oh, so this product has been in my shelf for so long, I'm reducing the price. Is that how it works? Or, oh, I have new stocks, I have to increase the prices. Is that how it really works? No, that's not how it works. The only way for them to be able to know exactly how to set a pricing to the product is because they have a data scientist that has been able to analyze everything, the information, their data, the economy, the way the economy is moving, and be able to predict the price of the commodities being sold. Okay? So that is one aspect that you see a data analyst function, predicting the future. Also, another aspect is, let's say, let me give a very good example. Let's say in the banking space, where we have a lot of fraudulent transaction, it is the responsibility of a data scientist to understand the types of transaction that happens or that are fraudulent in nature and be able to help the organization prevent such from happening in the future. That is something that a data scientist can do easily. When it comes to the health space and there's a disease outbreak, or let's say there's a pandemic that anybody above the age of 60, they get they are all diagnosed of, let's say they're having let's say stroke. Yes, stroke is a very good example. By age 60, there's a very good chance that every you'll be diagnosed with stroke and you have stroke. Now, this is something that can be easily prevented moving forward. And how can we prevent it? A data scientist will get all the health record of all the people that have been able to be diagnosed or people they can have access to, then analyze, study, and use what we call a machine model to learn and understand trends of what exactly happened when these people were young. Is it their environment? Is it their type of job? What exactly really happened during this time that made it that by the time they're now 60 years old, they're diagnosed with having stroke? What are the things that really went on that happened? The machine model will be able to tell you and predict that, oh, so probably maybe people that have been able to analyze, I'm talking about millions of people, by the age of, let's say, when they were 30, between 30 to 35, they all complained about, majority of them, let's say 90% of them complained about having fatigue or reporting to the hospital complaining about fatigue. This is an indicator, meaning by the time some of the, by the moving forward, if you have any patients that have some things in common with what the information, with what the machine model has been able to predict, you definitely know that moving forward, you want to advise this person on how best to live their life so that by the time they are 40, 60 years old and even above, stroke will not come knocking on their door. These are things that data scientists are able to do 100%, right? So looking at the things you learn Tableau also for data analysis, you learn SQL for database management. Then you also learn Python programming. You heard my professor mention that you need Python programming. Yes, you're going to learn that even if you don't have any knowledge at all about Python programming, you will learn how to do this and become a professional in it. Then you use your Python programming for what we call exploratory data analysis. You also use your Python programming to do what we call your machine learning, both your supervised and your unsupervised machine models. Then you'll be able to also use your Python knowledge to do what we call computer vision. Computer vision is a typical example of what we call computer vision is having a camera or equipping the camera with a eye to see a specific thing. Like, for example, this camera that is looking at me, it can see just me. Whatever that is happening in my background, it, it's not, it can see it, but it's not showing it. That's because it has been programmed by a data scientist to see once I activate the background, once I come into Zoom and I activate the background, only see the individual, ignore every other thing that you can see. That's a very good example of computer vision. And another very good example is your speed cameras that we have everywhere. These speed cameras, they see everything, but they don't capture everything. They only capture when you break the rule, capture everything they need to capture, and they save it for access for further penalties. This is something that you can easily learn as a data scientist. Then you have GitHub version control. Then you also learn GitHub Copilot for coding. Then you also be learning Microsoft Fabric, which is a newly introduced tool by Microsoft. Then your training, your classes, you have your live classes every other Saturday looking at those in West Africa, Europe, and in UK, you have your live interactive class, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And for those in North America, that is US and in Canada, and also in Mexico, you have 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Your time is going to be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay. And the total duration for your program is 8 months. You have 6 months in class training where you learn how to be a fantastic data scientist. Then you also have 2 month internship where you get to work on projects. So you see your class, everything you'll be learning in your class, they are all project based. When you're learning statistics, you're working on projects. When you're learning forecasting and predictive analysis, you're working on projects of a particular company that is looking to further probably forecast or predict their sales. You are working on this project, solving real life problem and learning at the same time, right? These are the things you get to do for the whole of 6 months. And you have your professionals there guiding you, working you, teaching you how to be these things. Then you also have the 6 months, the 2 month internship, where you get to work on more projects that you'll be able to have in your portfolio. Okay, remember, portfolio is very important. Then when you're looking at roles that you can apply to as a data scientist, definitely as a machine learning engineer, you can work as a forecasting analyst, demand planning, big data analyst, and also you have quantitative market research, not NLP, natural language processing developer. Then you can also work as a computer vision engineer, which is the last one I mentioned about equipping the camera with a eye to see a specific thing. And by the time you're done with your training, you'll have the opportunity, considering what you're doing in data analytics for 6 months, you are working on projects, solving problems. And by the time you get your internship is going to be done with our sister company, Andari, which is going to be for 2 months. So by the time you are done, you have the opportunity to have these companies on your CV. Both companies are registered in UK and also registered in Canada. Right. So if you're in UK, you have the ability to put both of them on your CV and also be able to get reference from either of them. Okay, so you have the opportunity 100%. And when you're looking at also everything you've learned in class, you see everything you've learned in class, this is just 50% of what we're going to offer you. The other 50% is what we call the employability. And what does employability mean? It means now that you're a fantastic data scientist, how does this convert to getting you a job? What went ahead to do about it is the number one thing you have is CV revamp and CV review, meaning we'll have a professional, in-house professional that will work on your CV to revamp it to be industry standard as a data scientist. Then you will now learn how to tailor that CV to whatever job you're looking to apply to as a data scientist to further give you the opportunity getting a job. But then again, there's a limit to the jobs you can apply to using your CV. So that is where your LinkedIn optimization comes into play. Learn how to optimize your LinkedIn to give you an opportunity to get into the opportunity of getting a job where the recruiter will just probably see your profile and be able to have the opportunity to just reach out to you and see if you're able to work with them. Then we also have a session whereby we call it navigating the job market. Here you learn how to navigate the job market, where and how to apply to jobs. Then in this navigating job market also, we have sessions whereby we have services whereby we subscribe to premium job boards. Now, these job boards, you can't normally, you can't, by default, you don't really have access to them except you pay to them. So what we did at Analytics is we paid to these job boards, we scrape all the jobs and we bring these jobs into your classroom. So you can directly from your classroom apply to these premium jobs without paying anybody anything. Then when you apply to job, we expect you to get called for an interview. So before you get yourself into any interview, you have that opportunity to schedule a one-on-one interview preparation session that will have a professional join that session, and that professional will walk you through or prepare you for that role you're looking to go for. And definitely that will further increase your opportunity getting a job. And when you get a job, we definitely offer reference letters. Then also something that we do offer is what we call the on-the-job support. Majority of people that have been able to land a job whilst they're in training, considering when you're in training, you get a job, you've not learned everything that you should know. So when you get a job and you have scenarios whereby you need to get some things done and you don't really know how to go about it, you have the opportunity to reach out back to us and we'll have a professional come on board with you and solve this problem for you. Now, this is not limiting to just for you in the program. Even after your program, if you have needs for this, you always have the opportunity to reach out and we'll have a professional get the thing done for you. Then we also have what we call a weekly mentorship session. Weekly mentorship session is where you have professionals come into the session and give you fantastic insider secret, insider's knowledge on what you should be doing to set you apart from every other person. And these are the things that people that have been able to go through the program, they took advantage of and got them a job either immediately after the program or whilst in the program. Okay, so the mentorship session is like a fantastic goldmine for anybody looking to transition because you have that mentor's guidance of knowing exactly what to do and knowing exactly when to do it. That's priceless for anybody looking to transition. Then for the last one, but not the least, is we have the Upwork optimization. This is focused on those looking to transition, be able to offer the services to both individuals and organization at the same time. So you have the Upwork that will give you that platform to offer the services. Then we have lots, like I said, we have a lot of success stories of students that have been able to go through the program and got themselves a job. Now, once you're done with the training, you will be getting a certificate, and your certificate is actually accredited by the American Council of Training and Development, meaning you are now a fantastic, you are now a master data scientist, right? By the time you're done with your training, you will be getting a certificate. Now, the question is, I've seen everything. What exactly do I need to start? And the simple, direct answer to that is the next class is starting by the 9th of August. So that's about a month from now. To join the next class, starting by 9th of August, all you need to do is take that immediate opportunity to register. The full price for the program is actually 900 US dollars. Okay, is 900 US dollars. Without that price has actually been discounted for the first 20 people to register for the program. Meaning for the first 20 people to register for the data science program, they'll be getting the discount and paying 750 US dollars instead of 900 US dollars. And the good thing is, you see that 750 US dollars, you are not required to pay everything at once. You have the opportunity to break that down into 5 installments, meaning you can pay as little as 150 US dollars to secure your spot and join the next class. So while you learn, you get to pay 150 every month for 5 months, and your first 150 gives you everything you need to join the class, get access to everything. And as you go ahead to learn, you pay and you get value. All right. So what you want to do is I have my colleague drop this link in the chat. You want to make sure you click on that link. It will take you to the enrollment center. So I'm going to show you how to walk around to make your payment and secure your spot immediately. Okay, so if you click on that particular link you have in the chat box, the mainstack.me link, it will bring you to the enrollment center. Okay, it will bring you to this enrollment center that you can see on my screen. So once you bring you to this enrollment center, what you want to do is you want to scroll down and search for the full stack data science program. Okay, you want to search for the full stack, any of the program that you're looking to go for, everything is here. This is where you register for any of the program. But tonight, we're talking about the full stack. So you want to look for the full stack data science program, which is here. So what you want to do is you want to click on this register for FSDS. Once you click on register for FSDS, it will open up in another tab. Then you have the opportunity to register. But one thing you need to see over here, the first thing you will see is the amount of seats we have left. We currently have 15 seats left, meaning probably maybe while I was on call, 5 people have been able to secure their spot and register for the program. So you want to make sure that this particular 15 seat that is left, you want to make sure that you are part of those that register for this slot before we run out of discounts. Okay. Now, remember, I told you that the price is 750 US dollars, but as an incentive to enable you to pay either once or even pay twice, you'll be looking at getting yourself additional $50 discount. Meaning if you pay once or if you pay twice, instead of you paying 750, you actually be paying 700 US dollars. But mind you, it is not a necessity. You still have your discount price readily waiting for you. So if this is not going to be comfortable for you, you don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is scroll down. You will see the 3 monthly payments where you get to pay 250 every month for 3 months. That will be totaling 750 US dollars. Or you have the 4 monthly installment, or even the 5 monthly installment. The 5 monthly installment is the 150 USD every month for 5 months. So you want to make sure that when you come over here, you select the plan that works best for you. Then you click on secure your seat. So for the sake of this example, for the sake of this uh, showcase, I will use the 5 monthly installment. So you want to click on secure your seat. Then you see the price breakdown of you making your payment the 10th of every month for the next 5 months. So you want to click on proceed. Once you click on proceed, you input your name, you input your email address, then directly on this website, you'll be able to pay using your card. And one very good thing is you can make payments even though I have people from Nigeria. So you don't have to say you want to look for dollar card or switch your Naira to dollars. No. This particular payment option is geo-tagged, meaning if you are joining from Nigeria, you'll be able to pay directly using Naira. If you're joining from UK, you'll be able to pay directly in pounds. If you're joining from Europe, you'll be able to pay directly in euros. Okay? So wherever you're joining from, even if you're joining from Canada, you'll be able to pay directly in card without needing any sort of currency exchanger. So you want to pay directly on the website. And what you need to do is, so let's say I have my name here, I have my email address, the phone number is optional. So you want to click on proceed. Once you click on proceed, you will have a confirmation you'll be asked a confirmation to confirm your email address to make sure that everything looks good. And this is the reason why. Because by the time you are done making your payments, a payment receipt to be sent to that particular email. So once you're done making your payment and the payment receipt has been sent to that email, you want to make sure you take a screenshot of that payment receipt. Then you want to come back here where they said register for FSDS. You want to scroll back up just above the programs. You will see where they said upload your receipt here. So you see that screenshot you've taken a screenshot of. You want to come here, click on this upload your receipt here. Then you complete the form. There will be a point where you'll be asked to upload your receipt. You upload your receipt, then you submit. Once you have that done, somebody from within the team will reach out to you and get you into the program starting for August. I want to know the fantastic thing. This discount that is currently available is available for those looking to start in August and in September. So even if at that point you're looking at August, okay, I can go by August, but no, you want to start by September, but you don't want to miss out on the discount, you have the opportunity to register right now and start by December. Sorry, by September. And one other thing is, so I see that when we took the quiz, we have some people say they're looking that they gave them the option of business analyst. I have some say cybersecurity. Then also somebody said they give me Scrum, but I'm not a fan. So what you can always do is secure your spot, register for the program, you can even register under the data science program. But when you upload your receipt here, there's going to be an option that will say speak with a professional. Okay, so instead of selecting any program, you can select speak with a professional. So when you select speak with a professional, you will be redirected you will have to join a session whereby you have professionals look at your background, look at your personal traits, look at your work experience, and be able to guide you on exactly which program is perfect fit for you. You have the opportunity 100%. Okay, so you want to make sure you take advantage of these discounts, secure your spot, and make sure that you upload your receipt, select the program you're looking to go for, and we'll be happy to have you join the program in 9th of August when the program starts. Okay. And remember, the discount is an early bird discount, only available for the first 20 people to register. So we want to make sure that you register as soon as possible so you don't miss out on the discount. Okay. So if I have anybody that have any question, you might want to drop that in the chat box. I'm going through the chat, so if I have any questions, I'll be able to give you a fantastic response. Frederick is saying guardian cybersecurity. That's fantastic. So you want to make sure that you secure your spot and you select speak with a professional if that's something you want to do, so that a professional will be able to actually look at things you've been on and you'll be able to things you've been through, and you'll be able to see if the cybersecurity is actually a perfect fit for you. Okay. Daniel said, are these real internships we can include on our CV? Yes, Daniel, these are real internships. These are real projects that you can have on your CV. Okay. And also, the company will have the opportunity to you have the opportunity to get reference letter from these companies. That is Amdari and Tenalytics. Okay. Right. So, if you have questions, you want to drop it in the chat so that once I get to it, I will answer you. So Sekina said, is this price same as business analysis? My colleague also answer you. The answer to that is yes. So all of our programs, the price is the same thing, okay? But the discount is limited. The discount varies. You have some that the discount is we've almost exhausted the discount, and you have some that the discount is really available. For the data science program, we have just 15 seats left. Okay, so you want to make sure you secure your spot and join the class starting by 9th of August. Do I have any questions? Do you have any further questions? If I have a question, you can use that. You can ask to unmute, and you'll be able to unmute your mic and ask your question. Do I have any further questions? Do I have questions? Does anybody have any question for me? Is there anything you want to ask? Probably maybe, okay, so you can have the opportunity just for a few seconds. If you have a question about, oh, so you're given business analysis, you're not sure if that's the perfect fit for you, you can ask you on mute and I will be able to unmute you, get to ask your question, okay? Okay, right, so it's Nigeria Olukemi is asking to speak. Let me get you, let me ask you to unmute. Okay, Olukemi, you can unmute your mic now. Olukemi, you can unmute your mic now. You might want to tap on the microphone icon so that.
All right, I'm here now.
Okay,
Good
fantastic.
evening.
Good evening.
Good evening from Nigeria.
Right.
Well, my question is, our portfolio, does it have to be on GitHub? Can it be on LinkedIn? Or there was a time somebody said he uses Google Drive as his own portfolio destination. So I just want to get some clarity about that.
Okay. So it is always advisable to make your project as easily accessible as possible. So sometimes when you have it in your Google Drive, it is private. Sometimes before recruiters will have access to it, they need to request for access. Remember, these people looking to hire you, they don't really have so much time to spend on one candidate or one applicant. They have others. So if they try to access your portfolio and they can't see it, and they just probably move to the next person. So you see on your LinkedIn, you should have your project. And also on your LinkedIn, you should have a link to your portfolio. Now, your portfolio can either be in GitHub or you can have a hosting website, which is 100% free. All this, you will learn them within Tenalytics, within a program We teach you how to set all these things up to make sure that your portfolio is readily accessible for any professional looking to hire you, that they want to see what you have to offer. Okay. So these are the things you learn from Google. Okay. I believe, look at me, does that answer your question?
Yes, please. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Does anybody have any further questions before we end for the night? If you have a question, you can use the action mute, and I'll be able to ask you to unmute your mic. Does anybody have any further questions? Okay. Let me check the chat box in case my people are shy to type. Okay, so I believe we don't have any further questions. So thank you, each and every one of you, for being part of this session tonight. I believe it was very impactful. It was very, very impactful. Thank you for spending your almost 1 hour, 40 minutes with us at Analytics. And I believe that you want to really take action, transition, and get yourself into a career path that is very, very essential and looking to help organizations solve their problems. Okay. So if you have, at the absence of any further questions, on behalf of myself, my CEO Chukwemeka Ikpa, my founder Daisy Suleiman, and co-founder Jimena Ipro, I say thank you for being here, and I'll be looking forward to see each and every one of you in class by 9th of August. Okay, so try as much as possible to secure a spot, and I'll be looking forward to have you join the class by 9th of August. Okay, cheers everybody, and bye for now. Bye.